Hi everyone. Today I'm excited to introduce you to Sally Cox. Sally is a CFS patient based in New Zealand, and Sally is also owner of Coppert, which is a company that creates a signature jewelry to connect the CFS community and contribute to CFS research. Welcome, Sally.
Thank you so much for having me.
Could you please tell us a little bit more about yourself?
So I was contracted ME/CFS about 10 years ago when I was on holiday with some girlfriends in Australia. I woke up one morning feeling like my ankles were a bit sore. I thought nothing more of it, and we got up and we went for a walk around Noosa Heads. And about 45 minutes into the walk, I started to feel really, really unwell. My eyesight went all blurry and I thought that I was going to faint. And that's really unusual for me because I was actually really fit at the time. I could run several times a week and I was in a swim squad. And I was, just really healthy and in a happy space. So it was really disconcerting.
So what did you do?
I asked if we could go and get some food because I thought that what I was experiencing was just the fact that I was hungry. So we went to a local cafe and I ordered a lot of food. And while I was sitting eating it, my symptoms got even worse and I basically started to faint even though I was sitting down. So my girlfriends rushed me to a local GP who worked me up and thought that maybe I was having some sort of diabetic episode because that's what it felt like. But obviously he couldn't find anything. So he sent me on my way and I struggled through and tried to carry on with the rest of the holiday, which was about another 4 days.
And so what happened next?
When I got home, I got worse. I couldn't, all sorts of strange symptoms started happening. I was covered in a rash. I got incredible pain through my body and my joints. I couldn't stand the smell of food. One of the most torturous things that happened is I couldn't sleep for 3 days solid, not even a cat nap. And the fainting episodes increased. So it was really weird. It was like these waves and I felt like my heart rate was going strange as well. So it was really, really disconcerting for me. Yeah.
So how long did this last for?
So the acute period lasted for about 3 months. And in that time, obviously, I went off and got some medical opinion. And the thing that they diagnosed me with, they actually thought that I was having some sort of mental breakdown. So they asked me to consider going on antidepressants and sent me to a cognitive behavioural therapist. And also gave me some sleeping tablets. And the sleeping tablets were actually a godsend because it meant that I could actually get some sleep, and that helped, I suppose, with part of my recovery. But to be honest, the antidepressants did nothing. In fact, I think they probably exacerbated some of my symptoms. And the cognitive behavioural therapist, after about 6 sessions, asked me to go back to my GP because she felt that I was actually had more physical manifestations and didn't really need to be on her couch. So with that, I went back and got a second opinion, which I was quite loath to do because having come from a background where my dad was a doctor, my brother's a scientist, I didn't really want to challenge what I'd been told. But anyway, I did go and get a second opinion and I was really, really lucky, and it was a complete fluke. But the GP I ended up with has a daughter with ME/CFS. And so he spotted what was going on, and that's when I got my diagnosis. But that whole period basically lasted for about 18 months before I started to slowly turn a corner and start to recover.
Thank you so much for sharing your story.
That's okay.
One of the reasons we are talking today is that you are working on fundraising initiative for ME/CFS research. So can you tell us a little bit more about this initiative?
Yeah, so I've got a business background, and I wondered how I could use my skills to help our community. One of the most frustrating things that everybody will understand is having to wait for a research breakthrough I couldn't believe that given the millions of people that suffer from this thing, that there wasn't that much funding for medical research. And then I discovered through OMF a blog by Jared Younger, who was talking about the need for more pilot research studies. And his theory behind that was that he felt that we should fail fast, basically, that we need to do more mini research studies to try and test more hypotheses so that we could advance on to full clinical studies. And so I thought, well, my big, hairy, audacious goal was basically to try and come up with enough money to fundraise at least one, and if not 10 of those, and they cost about $50,000. So I thought, well, I need to come up with some sort of big idea for fundraising. And that was the genesis for COPPIT.
So can you tell us a little bit more about COPPIT?
So the reason I came up with COPPIT and jewelry is because as a mechanism for fundraising, is because I wanted to have something. If people made a donation, I wanted them to have something in response to their donation and not just donate money. If I wanted an idea to be bigger and to generate more funding. And the other reason is that I thought it would be kind of special and kind of beautiful if we had something to wear that would connect us as a community. And so that's why I decided to come up with something like jewelry. So that I thought it would be really neat if I could recognise somebody, you know, if I was out and about and I saw someone wearing COPPIT, that I'd have that connection with them straight away, and I knew that they understood me and that they have been impacted by ME CFS in some way, whether or not it's a parent, a friend, or actually a patient.
That's a great idea. And so how will ME CFS benefit from COPPIT?
So my commitment has been right from the get-go to donate 100% of the profits of COPPIT to medical research. And I want to do that through organisations that I know and trust.
And so why did you call your jewelry COPPIT?
That's really to pay homage to the ancient beliefs that copper had healing properties. And also because copper is an essential trace mineral that we need for our survival. And actually it also has antibacterial properties, so it's used in medical environments. So I loved that link, and because I'm from a marketing background, I think that brands should have a depth and a story to them. And I've also stylized the symbol, the scientific symbol for copper in my jewelry as my logo.
So why did you contact OMF?
So during my 10-year journey with ME CFS, I discovered OMF, and I can tell you that I've lent on OMF like an absolute crutch, basically. I love the fact that OMF is founded in science, real science. And everything about OMF I love. I love the story about Linda and her connection with her daughter. I like the fact that you collaborate with incredible researchers worldwide, and that you're working together, and you see that we should be all working together to support each other as a community. And also the information that's available for patients through OMF. And I felt that if I was going to donate money, it needed to be through organisations that are already linked into researchers, so that it was more direct into projects that are almost already underway, so that I did the right thing by the community that maybe supports me.
So where we can learn more about COPPIT?
So at my website, www.copped.nz, and that's COPPERED.nz.
Thank you so much, Sally, for spending your limited energy with us today and for introducing COPPIT to our OMF community.
Thank you. And if there's just one thing that I could ask, if the community like what I'm doing, obviously I'd love their support, but also I'd love help with networking COPPIT, because for every dollar that I spend on advertising is a dollar that doesn't go towards to medical research. So it'd be great if people could help share my initiative.
So can people find you on Instagram?
Definitely. Yeah, at COPIT NZ.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sally.
Thank you.